Legally speaking, Grant van Bokhoff, expert in criminal law from the New Breed Law Firm. DBC Group is our new legally speaking lawyer every Monday afternoon. If you have any questions or need free legal advice, call in and speak to Grant. DBC, De Beer and Claassen Attorneys, your New Breed Law Firm, experts who simplify law, has taken service delivery to a whole new level with newly renovated offices, top-notch technology, and excellent client service. To find out more, visit DBC Group website at www.dbcgroup.co.za or call 016-976 or 800. DBC Group, our innovation gives you the edge.
All right, and Grant, once again, welcome here to Studio Lunchbox 90.6 FM. How are you doing, buddy?
As I said, I'm always good.
Did I just call you buddy? Man, that was such a lack of respect. You're a man of the legal profession. How are you, sir?
No, please don't sue me.
How are you, mate? So how's the year been?
Year's been good. A little bit long, but I think everybody that gets to this point in the year says, the year's been long. Mm-hmm. I saw a thing on Facebook that said, the year's been so long, I forgot that Poloni tried to kill us this year.
Well, I'm sure we can take legal steps if that happens. All right. And, I mean, the legal landscape in South Africa is so exciting for a guy like you, hey? So much happening out there.
There's a lot going on. And again, we're running into silly season now, so things start getting exciting from the end of November.
So you're bracing yourself, basically.
Well, in my field of speciality, the guys tend to get into trouble, and I need to be there over this period to help them out of trouble.
All right. So I said that you're a lawyer, but I mean, what do you actually do? Just to tell those people who don't know what you really are doing as a legal professional.
Well, we do general litigation. So my actual field in the office is general litigation, so anything that has to go to court where there's both parties, and then I specialize specifically in the criminal law. Mm-hmm. So I'm the guy that when you're in trouble you phone and I rush out and try and smooth things over.
De Beer and Claassen Attorneys, you guys are situated
in Sasolburg.
Sasolburg, okay. Do you have a number for me?
Yes.
All right,
016-976-0800, and we're in NJ van der Merwe Crescent in Sasolburg.
Alright, so gee vir hulle 'n likeie, De Beer en Claassen prokureurs indien jy 'n probleempie het. That's all I can
exactly
say.
It.
Alright, so consumer rights on Black Friday. I mean, they've got the right to get stuff at incredibly reduced prices.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a right at
it's
this
a
point.
Right,
These
it's not a privilege. It's a right. Come on. Right?
Well, the retailers out there are now really... It's really started to gain momentum in South Africa. Overseas, it's always been a huge day before the Christmas season where the retailers go out and they're actually getting rid of stock. They're basically clearing space on their floors for the new Christmas stock to come in and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's really starting to gain traction here.
Okay.
And the big thing with Black Friday, most people get into like a spending frenzy. So number one, they're spending money that they don't have. And the retailers are loving that because they're spending money in their stores on specials. And yes, there's a lot of times where people go out and they say, yes, that's actually a very good deal. Let's go out and purchase.
Yes. I know I did read a story because there's been a Black Friday this year already. And there was a case where a consumer bought something from a clothing retailer and there was something wrong with the product. And then there was a problem in getting the product. It was in the news. And we're talking about one item here. All right. But the consumer had a problem getting that product returned and getting their money back. Okay, so, I mean, these are things that we got to think about on Black Friday. Don't just go because you're getting something at half price. You've got to think about what you're getting. Is it quality? And, are your consumer rights still intact once you've bought that item at a reduced price?
Remember, for Black Friday, the rules remain the same. The Consumer Protection Act is in place, and as long as you follow the requirements in the Act, if a product doesn't meet your expectation, alternatively it doesn't fall in its warranty breakdown, or let's say, for example, the product is defective, as in this case that you've referred to, you would be entitled to return the same, get a refund of your money. Alternatively, if the product is of a certain nature, you could require the retailer or the producer of that product to fix the item or provide you with a new one.
Look, there are a lot of danger areas here as well, because it's not just about going to a shop on Friday. I mean, you can do this online. There's all kinds of ways that you can purchase stuff on Black Friday. That makes it more complex for you from a legal perspective, does it not?
Again, the Act covers those instances. And the big thing with regard to those instances where you're purchasing something online, let's say, for example, it was a marketing ploy. Now, in terms of that, you would have a 5-day cooling off period, which you wouldn't have if you were in a store, unless it was direct marketing face-to-face, where the person would come up to you and say, hey, we've got this on special, please go right ahead, this is what we've got for sale. So if it's direct marketing ploy, the consumer must understand, in terms of the Act, you've got a 5-day cooling off period, and you can return that without any penalty and get your money back. But specifically when looking at a situation where you're purchasing items online, that's where you haven't seen these products. And if you haven't seen the product, that means you haven't had the opportunity to inspect it. So let's say this product doesn't fall within the category as it was described in the ad. You again would be able to return this product for a full refund, alternatively refuse the receipt thereof. So if the guys come along and they say, hang on, we've posted this thing to you, you must pay us now, you can say, listen, I'm not receiving this, I'm sending it back to you, and there should be no penalty to me.
I want to ask this question really carefully because I might be on the wrong track here. But let's say I buy something on Black Friday from overseas, because they also got Black Friday overseas, right? Let's say I buy it from an overseas company online, and then it turns out to be defective. It only arrives in 3 weeks' time. I got it on a Black Friday special. I only get it on after 3 weeks or whatever, and then I see the thing is broken, it's not working properly, and I bought it from an offshore company, an offshore retailer, whatever the case might be. How are my rights affected then, or does nothing change?
Remember, when you're overseas, you're dealing with the laws of that supplier. And the biggest issue that we find is you have to now comply with those laws in that country where you're purchasing from.
Okay.
Now, because of our jurisdictional limits, our Act does not apply to those purchases. So be very mindful of what you purchase from an overseas retailer.
You've got to be very careful.
You're going to have to be very careful. Yes, there's a lot of good deals. My brother, for one, loves buying things online, and he purchases from clothing to games, that kind of thing. And then you get them, and sometimes they're defective. Now you can't send them back because, again, your supplier's overseas. And the costs of getting that out there.
Look, I think a lot of these guys, who operate overseas, who sell stuff to countries all over the world, they kind of bank on that, to a large extent. That, the guys aren't going to be able to return the stuff because they know that we're overseas. It's going to be quite complicated. So, I think consumers out there, just make sure you know your rights, and also make sure you know what you're buying, and that you're probably going to be happy with it at some point. What about this? I mean, let's say I buy something on Friday for, let's say, 50% of the price, and I find that it's defective. Am I only going to get 50% of the price back, or can I go for full price?
Now, remember, you would be entitled to what you paid for the item.
Because I know a lot of guys are going to try that trick. Hey? A lot of people will try to do it like that.
Again, your retailers are catching on very quickly, so they'll make sure that whatever was sold, you're going to have to produce slips. A lot of people would possibly try to pull the wool over their eyes and return an item without a slip, but the retailers are becoming quite stickler with regard to you producing a slip. So again, you would be entitled to the purchase price that you paid, and that's essentially, it would be common law because it's equity between man and man. Even though you're purchasing this item at a reduced rate, yes, next week it's no longer that price and you're going to have to pay full price for it, and now the guys want to go and get their money back or a voucher or something like that. Okay. And it could throw spanners in the works, because if the retailer actually finds out that you've attempted that or you were successful, then it's essentially fraud. There's that misrepresentation that I actually paid full price for this item.
There must be a lot of funny business out there when it comes to Black Friday. I mean, there's a lot of consumers. We're not just talking about suppliers of products. We're talking about consumers as well. Also try their luck and try and... hulle probeer die mense om die bos lei op 'n manier.
Well, I can definitely see that. People are funny. They tend to get into this a frenzy almost.
Yes.
So they'll start in one store, and yes, I've got a good couple of deals. Then they move into the next store, okay, this is on special, that's on special. And then you end up buying things that you don't really need. And yes, there's a lot of other consumers, but with the malls and retail outlets being so busy, you must also look out for the criminals that are out there, because this is also a good time for them to prey on unsuspecting consumers.
What if you get injured on Black Friday?
Well, again, then
What are your consumer rights there? I mean, this is a possibility. People get injured on Black Friday. It happens.
I've seen stranger things.
Who do you sue? I mean, who do you sue in court? You know, if let's say I'm standing, man, I'm going to just say it. Pick and Pay. Let's say I'm standing at Pick and Pay on Black Friday, and 4 guys trample all over me. Who's to blame?
Again, the stores need to regulate the amount of people that are in the store. They must be able to basically guard against that type of event happening. I remember when the mall first opened, one of the stores had a huge deal on jeans, and people lined up outside the store to the point where when those roller doors went up, the entire group just flooded into the store, and there were a couple of people that were hurt. Now the question is, who's responsible? Is it the store? Is it the mall? Is it the actual person that trampled on you? So if you're able to see who this person was that injured you, get their details, because you would actually have a claim against all 3 of those entities.
Oh, okay.
And they would have to prove that they did not act in a certain manner to negate this from happening.
I see. Okay, so well, you've got good advantages stacked up in your advantage if you get trampled on Friday. You can give the beer class and attorneys a call, and they'll help you out. Have I asked you the right questions this afternoon?
Definitely.
Is there anything else that you'd like me to ask you that you can answer us on?
Well, with regard to Black Friday itself, again, make sure that you're aware of what you're purchasing. Also, make sure that the products that you are looking for, if you are looking for these certain type of products, basically comply with their warranties that they advertised with. And those are the biggest things, because you find that a retailer will try and get rid of as much old stock as possible, and the warranty conditions would be slightly different on the older stock than the newer stock. Okay. So again, look for those things. That is one issue that I did pick up on the last Black Friday, where people would try and have items fixed, and then they'd say, listen, no, but it's out of warranty actually already.
I see.
And especially with stores selling demo items, that kind of thing. Be aware of what you're purchasing.
So if I buy a brand new PlayStation on Friday, I get it for half price, and then I go set it up at home, find that it doesn't work, I go back to the supplier, they say, no, we're not giving you your money back. Can I phone you?
You can contact me.
All right. Well, keep your consumer rights intact with the Beer and Claassen attorneys. Grant is the man to chat to. Grant, can we get your number again, please?
It's 083-981-4706, and you can contact me on the office number at 016-976-0800.
Have you got your eye on something for Black Friday?
I'm thinking I'm going to go and pop past a couple of optometrists and see if they've got a couple of pairs of Oakleys on the sale.
I've got a book in mind, How to Have a Better Relationship with Your Lawyer. I'm going to go for that.
Pay him enough.
It's 75% off, man. I'm getting it for an absolute steal. Excuse the pun. I'll tell you what, Grant, it's been lekker chatting to you, as always, man. We'll have a chat to you again next week.
Sorted.
It's Grant from De Beer and Claassen Attorneys. And I'll tell you what, keep those consumer rights in mind on Friday. Dit gaan nie net oor die goedkoop prysies nie, hè? Definitely not. Thanks, Grant.